Today, I want to get really, really serious with you. I want to talk about control. And partly, I want to talk about who owns your soul. Well, if I want to control a large group of people, if I want to control a nation, there's a really easy way to do that. And in the old days, it was called siege warfare. You take something that they have to have, and you control it, and the only way they can get it is if they bow down to you, and they have to bow down to you to get it. So I'm going to tell you a story about Ukraine. There was a time that Russia conquered Ukraine. Ukraine has some of the richest land on the whole planet. It was the breadbasket of that whole part of the world. Russia went in the wintertime, took all their food, left them no food. By the end of the winter, 13 million people had starved to death. Well, the Rothschilds were known to have said at one time, I don't care who makes the laws, I only care who controls the money. Well, there's something a whole lot more powerful than the money. It's the food. If you don't have food, you don't last very long. Well, the reason I'm getting to this point is because there's some things getting ready to happen in this country. And, Father had given me some things a long time ago, and then I met Patricia, and Patricia had a vision of a tsunami, and then all the pieces of the puzzle started coming together. So I'm kind of one of those connect the dot people, and you look at what's going on and you see what's going on. So I've been watching a lot of things that have been going on lately. In one day we had 7 volcanoes erupt in one day. It's unheard of. Look at the number of earthquakes happening around the world right now. Do you know what's interesting? The North Pole and the South Pole, they're not stationary. They move a little bit. They call it the wobble, and they move 6 or 7 feet. But now, last year, they moved 61 miles. Something's happening. Something's going on. So I'm a guy that I like to know what's going on. I do a lot of research. And I got a hold of some information from NASA. And then I'm going to give you a website. I'm going to give you a place to go. And this is going to really get your attention. It's Google, but not google.com, google.ru, google.russia. And you go to google.russia, and they share everything over there. They're not like over here where they keep all these secrets. So Russia has been warning their people. In fact, just on the news over there, they've been telling their people about this pole shift that we're going to be going through. Now, do we know when exactly we're going to go through it? No, we don't. Because this particular pole shift is being caused by a dwarf star that's going to swing around this planet. And when it swings around magnetically, it's going to catch the magnetic poles of our planet, and it's going to turn us at some point. Now, what's being projected, at least through NASA and through Russia and through some of the aerospace people that have some knowledge of this, is that it could turn as much as 90%. What's going to happen when that happens? Well, when that happens, we're going to have tsunamis, we're going to have earthquakes, we're going to have volcanoes, we're going to have the shifting of the poles, and when that happens, we're not going to be in the same position on the planet aligned with the equator that we were. And in the meantime, we have to get ready for that. We have to be ready. If we're not prepared, whose fault is that? When Father's been giving the prophecy of the tsunamis to prophets that you know of, like Perry Stone, people that are well known for being right accurate, right on the word, they're getting more and more and more and more of these prophecies. So what I want to do is I want to get you ready for the future. Because when chaos starts, if and when it starts, you don't have to say, well, I don't know when. You say, I don't know when, but I know that something's coming. Well, it behooves you to be prepared to have some food. If you don't have any food, you're going to starve to death. A couple that we know have a garden, and the woman's a prophet. She's prophetic. And Holy Spirit said to her 2 or 3 years ago, grow your garden. But she said, the garden's all grown up, Lord. He said, grow your garden or you're going to starve. That's a pretty hard word. 5 years ago, God told me, he said, Will, Holy Spirit nudged me, said, I want you to start stocking up dried food. And I did. Beans and rice and lentils and split peas and chia and things that I could put in jars and I could prepare for the future. So the reason I'm telling you this is because there's been so much prophecy about what's coming, and we don't know when. And, people say, well, I don't believe that. You know what belief is? Belief is trust in something. Do you know what faith is? Faith is expectations. Now, when a word of prophecy comes forth, we can either pray for it to happen or we can ask God to hold off. Yahweh, please hold it off. We have the option to go either way. But we better listen. So I'm sharing this with you today because you're a viewer of our videos, and we care about you. And the thing we care about most is that you prepare your heart and you prepare your spirit and get right with Father. Because if you don't, there's a short time and a long time. We're here for the short time, and we leave here, we go into the long time. And the long time is much, much, much greater than where we are now. We're here, I'm 72. I'm looking at 120. I read in the book that we're supposed to be 120, so I'm going for 120. But 120 next to 1,000,000 is nothing. It's nothing. So what I'm saying is get your heart ready. Give your life to Christ. If you haven't been baptized in the Spirit and you don't have your prayer language, you're living way, way below your privilege. If you're going to a dead church where there's no power, there's no Spirit, get out of there. Find a place that you can get fed and you can grow. It's important. And that's your responsibility. It's not some church's responsibility. And if they don't have any power, if they don't teach about the immersion in Holy Spirit, the gift, the power that comes upon you when the Holy Spirit comes upon you, get out of there. Find a place that you're going to be able to grow. And if you can't find a place, find a few people that are hungry. They want to grow, and start a little Bible study in your home. Start growing in grace. We grow in grace. We grow in grace. We grow. We don't stay still. So I appreciate you. We appreciate you. We want to be a blessing to you any way that we can. Get prepared and find a place that you can fellowship where everybody can grow together. God bless you.